Hey everyone, welcome back to Table Talk. I'm Chris. This is Caspian. Say hi, buddy. So grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's talk about something that came up for me this morning in a pretty real way. You know, I like shooting these in the morning, and that's because not just because the lighting's better, but because I haven't said anything stupid yet. It's because the morning, my brain is most active. Memories are more vivid, things are on the surface, you know? That used to be a bad thing. For a long time, mornings were the hardest part of the day. Waking up was always the enemy. The quiet was too loud. The memories that came up weren't the kind you wanted to sit with. But today, I don't regret the past, nor do I wish to shut the door on it. That's a line a lot of us know. And I used to wonder if I'd ever actually mean it or if I'd just be saying it because I was supposed to. On Caspian. Today, I mean it. And I think I mean it because I've started to understand something about surrender, the first principle of our program. It's the first step, surrender. Let me take you back about 10 years. I played a huge show on Main Street in Oklahoma. We're talking a real event. Big crowd, big energy. The green room was a hotel room, and the main sponsor, Jack Daniels. Needless to say, there was plenty of it comped. And I remember standing there in that hotel room, surrounded by all of it, in a room full of people, and feeling completely, utterly alone. That's the thing nobody tells you about Self Will Run Riot. It doesn't matter how many people are around. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't show up in a trench coat with a name tag. It just quietly takes the wheel, and suddenly you're doing everything your way, and your way is exhausting. And nothing is ever enough, and you're the loneliest person in a packed room. I didn't have language for that then. I just had the bottle in my hand. At some point in my recovery, a sponsor said something to me that I've never forgotten. He looked at me and said, "Put down the weapon, soldier. The war's over." And I just sat with it. Because that's exactly what it was. I had been at war with myself, at war with other people, at war with the world not cooperating with my plans. Always scheming, always managing, always running the angles. Today, it's a little different. And today's reader talks about this. It says that when we're driven by self will, we're constantly wondering whether we've covered all the bases, whether we've missed some critical detail in our efforts to control and manage everything. We're either afraid our schemes are going to fall apart or guilty that they'll actually work. It was hard living on self will, but we didn't know any other way, did we? That's the part that gets me. Sorry for the pause, I lost my space. Getting used to my new glasses. We didn't know any other way. It wasn't moral failure, it was just that was the only tool in the box. The war raged on the inside, and I could feel alone with 20,000 people around me. Fast forward to last night. I went to a show, similar size, big crowd, loud music, all of it. Same external ingredients as Oklahoma 10 years ago. I wasn't performing, but this time I was there with new friends, real friends, clean friends. And it was a beautiful experience. Same setting, completely different life. That's what the reading is pointing at when it talks about surrender being the beginning of a new way of life. It's not about giving up, it's not weakness. It's about finally putting down something that was never working anyway. and discovering that when you stop fighting everything, your hands are actually free. The more we surrender, the easier it gets. I'm living proof of that, and so are a lot of you watching this. Trade spots with my books so they can see you. Today I can be alone without being lonely. Let me say that again. Today I can be alone without being lonely. Wow. Today I can be alone without being lonely. Every day is not perfect. I want to be clear about that. Life still shows up. The car still breaks down. People still disappoint you. Caspian still judges me silently from across the room. Don't you, buddy? But every day is full and exciting and precious to me. Thanks to the program, thanks to my higher power. When we turn our will and our lives over, all we have to do is our part as responsibly and conscientiously as we can. Then we leave the results where they belong and we stop worrying and we start living. Just for today, I will surrender self will. I will seek knowledge of what my higher power's will is for me and the power to carry it out, and I will leave the results where they belong. That's it. That's the whole assignment. If you're out there still fighting a war that's already over, this one's for you, friend. Put down the weapon. It's safe out here. I'm Chris. That's Caspian. Thanks for being at the table.